Man, life as a dad is good. It's it's life changing, really. But you know,
I
uh,
would hope so.
the first few days are just you're kind of don't really believe what's happening, and you're just on like hyper focused to every little thing and movement and sound, and then eventually you kind of start to somewhat settle in and figure things out. And I've actually gotten some sleep the past 2 days versus the first
Nice.
three were
Yep.
yeah just non-existent. But I
Yeah.
mean, other than that, it's going good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited that she's here and ready to go. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Congratulations.
hey, I
So,
appreciate it. It's awesome, and eventually Uncle Ben's gonna come on down and see her,
Oh
and
yeah. That's
everything's
right.
just gonna get right. So with that, welcome guys to another episode of Rooted Podcast. Uh, as you've kind of heard, there's a different voice in here today.
Yeah.
Mr. Carson Tharp from Jahpoo Decoys is here. Carson, it's a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you for your time.
yeah,
Yeah.
John, I appreciate you guys having me here, man. I'm excited and eager. That's all I
Hey,
can say.
yeah, we are sure excited to have you. We will dive into everything into your company and your story. But Carson, we always start here. Ben usually gives us the good word. Ben, I don't know if you've got
Yep.
verse just ready, but man,
Oh
the
yeah.
floor is yours, my friend. Just give it to us.
All right. This is in Romans 5, verse 3. We can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they will help us develop endurance. And endurance develops strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope of salvation.
Hmm.
There's nothing more reassuring in life than knowing that even in the storms that you go through, God has you, and it's just building endurance. It's making you follow Him harder, lean on Him harder. And, you know, the thing here too is when it's talking about trials and suffering, it's more so talking about like how you're growing with Christ, because you're going to deal with stuff on the human level. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everyday, day to day stuff, but this is talking
Mm-hmm.
about a spiritual level.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just think that this is one of the best ways to learn is to dive in, read the
Well,
passages, and they say different things every time. Every time it's something different. I can read it 3 days apart, and it's different every time.
and there's plenty of trial and errors in life, but also in business too.
Yeah.
So, Carson, I'm sure whenever you're, you know, coming up with this new decoy, I mean, there's I'm sure it wasn't just the first one you made. It was perfect, right?
Oh yeah, no, and I mean I appreciate that. I don't think I'm going to like save the world by any means by building a technologically advanced or innovative duck decoy, but yeah, I mean Ben, that's like something that the passage definitely has like a ton of meaning and something that like with myself and my career development, professional development, have like tried to focus in on is my relationship with God. And it's kind of like that saying of Matthew McConaughey and like the Green Light book, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's these
Mm-hmm.
moments of where life is great and you've got these green lights associated with it, but then also you've got the yellow and red where like things might be like kind of seeming messed up, but then things seem really really bad. But those moments and those like yellow and red light scenarios is what makes you achieve those scenarios of green. And like with God, knowing that like there's it might not be what you had imagined, but it all happens for a reason, and it's all taking
Mm-hmm.
acknowledgement of like these difficulties and trials and tribulations that you're facing. um
Yeah.
you might like sit there and
Mm.
beat yourself up about it, but you really got to like take a step back and look at it of, oh my
Mm-hmm.
goodness, like this is actually meaningful. This is what's going to build me. This is what's going to create me into that renowned father for my newborn child, and getting
Mm-hmm.
her off to college, someone that my kids will look up to, or like
Yeah.
being the person that you want to be when you're 60 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It's these kind of moments that you got to embrace versus more so kind of taking a step back out of and finding pity. And it's all much so mindset. But like for us at Jahpoo, like I tried to bring in a sense of connection with religion in our brand,
Mm-hmm.
more so just because it's who I am, and it kind of in building a company has helped me like get through the hard times. And one of my favorite sayings is fall down 6 times, get up 7. But there's a verse that I found, I believe it's Proverbs 24:17, and it's, what does it say? It's like the wicked may fall to calamity, but the righteous shall rise again. And so essentially, just like regardless of what's happening in your life, don't give up. Like I could go on a tangent about giving up and having like steadfast motivation and keep going and pushing through the downs. But with all that said, there's always faith. There's always, as long as you keep working at something, it's going to happen. But yeah, Ben, most certainly that verse in itself is meaningful, and I'm actually glad you opened with that because something with us is right now where we're at in our company's development and over the years and growth stages were happening. It's like I was on the phone with Dennis Solicitor, aka Dr. Duck, today. He's kind of grown a connection with them just being out of Texas and Texas boys. But asked me how things were going, and I was like, dude, things are good. Like I genuinely thought about 2 weeks ago I was drinking out of a fire hose, but now I'm starting to realize that it's a fire hydrant. So things are increasing, but and it's overwhelming to an extent, but it's good,
it's good.
It's how you grow.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's exactly how you grow.
Yeah,
no doubt about that, man. Well, I know we saw y'all at the NWTF show, and your decoy is very innovative. You said it best. It is very innovative, and I have been saying that somebody needs to make one of those for a long time. And then me and John rounded the corner, and I said, "There it is. That's what I've been looking for all this time."
Oh man, that's hysterical. Well, I'm glad we could have a great product fit for you, man. Yeah, it was definitely difficulty, man. Like going to the creation of the company, it was a lot of trial and error, to tell you the truth. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into at the beginning of it, and you just kind of,
When did the idea come about?
Dude, so the idea is a long story.
Yeah, well, please, this is a perfect place for storytelling.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
It's perfect for storytelling.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of hit the name. Let's start there. So the name's Jahpoo, right? So the overall inspiration, and I don't mean to be generic whatsoever. It all stems back from my dog. Her name's Sadie. She is the light of my world. I will do anything for her. We've got to wake up, have food, go out, do potty. Afternoon at 5:30, it is dinner time. She has to go to walk, play fetch, work with the bumper, etc. She is like my light and soul. I got this dog when I was into my junior year in college, going into my senior year, and it was kind of like one of those revelations of or realizations, I guess it's the proper term, that I woke up and was like, oh, I could have my own dog. Like I've been asking my parents for dogs for years, and I was like, well, man, I can finally do this. So I was in Greek life, and there's some other guys that were in the fraternity, and they all had hunting dogs, and I never really had much experience with hunting dogs. I had bird hunted before, but it wasn't really my forte. I was more so into deer hunting, but I was like, all right, hunting dogs cool, labs are cool. We're gonna go with the lab. So I got Sadie, 6 weeks old, like right before the litter went off to the dad. The dad was a grand champion hunting dog. The mom was just standard stay at home, lovable house dog. But I got Sadie a little potato, started working with the bumper, doing, standard retrieves, obedience training. We got into it. I kind of was keeping the retriever training kind of on the back end of the burner, but
that's the life of technology. It's always fun and innovative and trying to figure out. I've always noticed, the dudes who build the brightest and best stuff, it's the little tiny things that whoop them.
Oh,
every trying to get it every time, man.
It is so overwhelming. I mean, like today, for instance, like I'm trying to make some edits on my website, and then like I it's like shipping pricing, for example, of like for a t-shirt versus a decoy, and like I spent an hour and a half, and I was like, all right, I need to call Donnie. Donnie, help me out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But okay, we got it. We're good.
Excellent.
So got Sadie, puppy, inspiration of my life. Want her to be the best dog ever. And so 6 months comes around. It's hunting season's coming up. There is a break in Texas football, and one of my good friends approaches me, and he's like, "Hey, we're going out to the ranch this weekend. You want to come?" And I looked at it as an opportunity to introduce Sadie into gunfire. And so I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure, let's go. So I took Sadie out there with us. We did the whole introductory stage of, walk out 30 yards with the 22, shoot the gun. No reaction, bring the 22 closer, no reaction, and then, further upgrade with the gauge of the shotgun. So we went from 22 to, I believe it was a 20 gauge shotgun, and then to the 12 gauge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we essentially did 22, no reaction. We did the 20 gauge from a distance, no reaction. I was like, all right, let's try 12. 12. I mean, we just pretty much stepped ahead all those steps, and she was fine.
Nice.
Nice.
Retrieving the bumper. It was a really great sign. I was like, okay, you know what? Like, we might have something here. In with that occurring, I started doing some digging of like, all right, when is dove season? How do you hunt on public land in Texas for dove? Found a little property south of Austin, down in San Marcos. That was the bread and butter of dove hunting I've ever had in my life. Like, I mean, we were so lucky to come across this tract, and we went out there about like 3 times, and it was just lights out every single time, regardless. Nobody else went. I mean, there's probably one time we went out there, we saw another group, but I'd say it was about the second time we went out there that Sadie realized what she was doing. Like, she was she's coming up on 5 months at that time, 6 months. And it was like coming in on sunset, birds were coming into the tank to get water, and, just flying in like, flies, moths, bats, whatever you want to say. And it's just, can't load my gun fast enough. She breaks. I've got her on like a 30-foot lead, and, I'm like, Sadie, here, pull her.
Yeah.
And she like comes back, and I tell her to sit. And like in that moment, I very vividly remember her sitting down and looking me in the eyes. And when I tell her to sit, she like, it clicks for her. She's like, oh, this is what we're doing. Like, this is all this, all these drills, and
Yeah, like, oh, it's live now.
Yeah. And like, that's when I was like, okay, this is sick. Like, I had the connection with Sadie. Like, I made the connection of hunting and that one-on-one bond between man and dog. Nice. So I got addicted. We were going as much as we can to go dove hunting on the weekends. We were skipping football games our senior year to go dove hunting. Like,
nice.
Dude, y'all are crazy. And I was like, dude, I love it, man. She's an early stage puppy. We got to go.
Yeah.
And so in December, there is a split that occurs in dove season. And during that split that happened to roll upon, I was done with my finals. My roommates and pretty much all of my good friends, fraternity brothers, had gone home for break. And then in addition to that, my parents moved to Austin. However, I was living out of my apartment because my parents didn't have a room for me at their houses. So it was literally just me and Sadie, and then, going over to the parents' house for dinner. So I was like, dude, what can we do? I'm kind of bored. I've got like some money on hand. And I was like, Sadie really loves to swim. She loves bird hunting. And, kind of, what do you combine? Swimming and bird hunting comes duck hunting. And so I was like, all right, let's try out duck hunting. So I went to Cabela's, bought my first dozen decoys that then translated into Mojo, butt up ripplers.
So wait a minute, you didn't start duck hunting until you were in college?
Correct.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm tracking.
Yeah,
hey, that's incredible. That's a great.
Hey, that is incredible. I started back in the 90s and self-taught too, had some guidance along the way, but me and my brother had to learn a lot from them public waters.
And I mean, dude, truthfully, I think that's like the best way to learn is like,
yeah,
absolutely. Just go on, just into the deep end of the pool per se.
It's kind of like getting some IKEA furniture and just like instead of reading the instructions, just like
full send it.
We're gonna figure out how to build this.
You're like, look, I did this with 3 less screws. I look at that as an achievement. I needed less stuff to build it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
To show off to the girlfriend, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's exactly right.
But yeah, man, I got out there, we got on public, and it was about the third or fourth time we hadn't shot anything. And within this, like, you know, I'm trying to figure out where the birds are going, the different environments they're at.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until about the fifth time, my fifth hunt, that I went out, woke up at 5 a.m., you know, spent all this money on these decoys, got my dog with me. I'm watching Instagram and YouTube videos of how to hunt, and people are just smashing birds. And I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? Like, this is so frustrating.
How do I do that?
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Like, I need a product. I need a motion decoy that is going to create this motion. And so I got online. I started digging into the weeds, got on Google, and I couldn't find anything. Like I saw a jerk string and saw some other contraptions that were developed. But when I was looking at them, I was like, when I'm sitting in the marsh in, you know, knee deep mud with my gun, the dog stand, trying to set up the mojo, and I don't have a place to sit or put any of this down, like, that's the last thing I want to deal with. Like, I want something that I could easily just go out, place, and deploy. So I started thinking about it, started like conceptualizing like how to make it work. And I had approached some of my fraternity brothers who, to put in perspective, like some of the smartest engineers I know. Like, for example, like one of them, he is currently a product development engineer at Apple, like developing like how your touch screen reads like your touch integrations.
Oh, wow.
And then the other one, he is a mechanical engineer at a refinery in Houston, and literally is in charge of the entire refinery. And we're all 27. So like, just kind of put in perspective, like caliber of the individuals I was talking to. So when I went and brought them this idea, they shot it down. Like, Carson, that won't work. That's a terrible idea. And I was just like, no, man, you're right. And so I kind of put it on the back burner, and forgot about it. 2020 COVID hit, graduated then. I was originally going to oil and gas, but I obviously couldn't do that because there was no travel. The international trade was just struck. And so I went to finance. I was living at home, studying for my exams. And one of my good pals, good friends now, he's really is coming up in the photography scene, but he reached out to me. He's like, hey, do you want to, like, I'm looking at moving to Austin. Would you be interested in moving on the lease together? I was like, dude, for sure, let's do it. Like, I need to get out. My parents are driving me crazy. So moved in with Cole, still COVID, 2022, or not 2022, September 2020. And moved in his house. And within the first week, you know, we haven't done anything. We can't really do anything. It's like, dude, how can we make some money? And I'm like, well, dude, like, I've had this duck decoy idea. And like, I think it would really work. Like, it'd be a really cool idea to start with. And you know, me and Cole dug into it, and like, here we are.
Nice.
It's been a rock and roll journey, don't get me wrong. And it's definitely been a roller coaster, and, you know, still foresee that to be the case going forward. But the overall name and came from Sadie, right? She was the inspiration. She created the company. She got me into the sport. She got me into the idea. And when I got her, I was like, this dog's going to change my life. I don't know what way or what form. But when it became time to start filing the company's name, I was like, okay, I want this to be creative. My roommates that senior year, about the same time that I got into duck hunting, decided that naming my dog Sadie was a stupid idea because it was very generic. And they were like, you know what, she's still a puppy, and it'd be really funny if we gave her a name that she would, like, a stupid name, so to say, that she would recall to. And so they came up with this name that I one day came back from the PCL, which was like the library, and they were just calling her Jahpoo. Like, everybody was like, Jahpoo, and they'd be like, Jahpoo Doris, come here, Jahpoo Doris. And Sadie would respond to it. She started having recall. I was like, what is this? Like, this is so bizarre. It spread like wildfire through my fraternity, through Greek life. Everybody started calling Sadie Jahpoo. And I was like, this is one of the stupidest names I ever heard of. And like being her owner and naming her Sadie and trying to work with her and making her hunting dog and recalling to the name Sadie, I was like, guys, like, please stop. Like, you're
Yeah.
messing with my dog.
You're kind of ruining my vibe here, man.
Yeah, 100%. And like it ended up not being a problem. I ended up getting my ed, but when it became time to file the company's name, I was like, you know what, I need something that's a little unique. I need something that's gonna be kind of a twang to it, that's got meaning with it. And so I felt like Jahpoo was a very suiting name for the company.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, it is very unique. I'll give you that.
Oh,
I mean,
100%, man.
you know, because like Ben said, whenever we turn the corner at the turkey show and we look up and I'm like, Jahpoo, I'm like, okay, I'm interested. What the heck is that? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I saw the decoy bob and I was like, yes, finally. Yes.
like,
This
all right,
is
I'll at
awesome.
least walk over there.
Yeah, man. I'm glad. I mean, it's got a ring to it. I mean, hat off to Dr. Seuss, man. I came to find out a couple of years later. It was actually this year. I had gone on the podcast previously, and my roommate at the time approached me, and he informed me that the name actually came from around Christmas time. They were watching How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and at the very end of The Grinch Stole Christmas, they're all singing around the Christmas tree. And they're going, Jahpoo, glory, Jahpoo, glory. And so then they came with Jahpoo Doris in that moment. They're like, Jahpoo Doris. And then Sadie caught on.
How about it?
That is awesome. You know, it's crazy how a business name can just come out of nowhere. Yeah. Right field, left field, you never know it's coming, and then all of a sudden somebody watches How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and then there you go.
Oh my God. I mean, like, it's actually wild. Like, you think that creating a business name would be something that would be simple, but it's really difficult. Like, luckily, like, I had this name in a sort already put into place for Sadie, and like the creation of the company came from her. So it was like,
and a lot of people put too much thought into it sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
You'll spend days thinking about it.
Yeah, like for you guys, like how'd y'all come up with Rooted?
Man, I was actually sitting in an office of John Deere selling tractors and heavy equipment, and I was listening to a song or podcast or radio or something, and I just heard the word rooted. I was like, yeah, that's it. That's it, because we're rooted in faith. You know, we're rooted in farming, agriculture, and hunting. So that is what we are in. That's what we're rooted in.
Dude, I love it, man.
Yeah. And then, you know, whenever we decided to finally do a podcast, we had tempted around, and I said, dude, let's just not overcomplicate this. There's Rooted Television. Just call it Rooted Podcast and move on.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah. It's literally the same exact logo. There's just a mic and a headphone. That's literally.
There is.
And of course, it says podcast instead of television. But it's like, that's it. So
I love it, man.
It's like, awesome.
It's wild. I'm actually like in a moment right now where my mom, she's an art teacher and she teaches ceramics, and I'm in the process of like trying to help my mom open up her own ceramic studio, kind of like work on the wheel and teach people how to like make pots and stuff. And we're trying to work very, very rapidly right now, and it's like very interesting because we're trying to come up with like the name and get the website going. And like, it's that like everything else in the business structure isn't that complicated, but identifying the name and the logo, it's just like, why is it so difficult?
Yeah, man. It's always hard to start, right? In anything. I don't care if it's pottery, if it's, you know, real estate. Once you get the first thing done, then it just kind of starts to come on, you know?
Oh man. And it's definitely like so rewarding too. Like a lot of people don't really realize the amount of time and, you know, thought that goes into like starting a company, or even much so like, you know, building a product, right? Like I always thought it would be something very simple of, hey, let's make a duck decoy, right? And then, you know, I don't know how familiar you guys are with paint, but oh my gosh, like figuring out how to get paint to stick to a piece of plastic is just like so complicated.
It is very complicated.
Yeah, and then to do it the same way on every decoy. You know.
Consistency. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the production process was like a whole different animal.
I mean, and do you hand paint them, right?
Yeah. So this past year was our first season on the market. which would be the 2024-2025 season. And I had this invigorating idea. Let's make these in America. I could do this myself. No big deal. I don't need any outside help. And so I received a pallet of all of our plastic parts, shell, internal pieces, motors, weights, battery boxes, screws. Or I actually I think 6 pallets in July. And then we started piecing them together, going through the R&D process of shipping up to our second stage of manufacturing, which is called hot plate welding, where essentially they take an A and B side and then melt the two halves together and fuse the pieces together. And so they had to get to that stage of sending them up to the hot plate welder, and the decoys would break in shipment. So we were like, okay, why is the decoy breaking? And in this time frame, we're coming up on August and duck season's in November. So we have a tight time window to get this resolved. So we're trying to figure out, all right, what mechanically is breaking the process? How is it breaking? And then get that fixed. And on top of that, you have electrical and making sure that your electrical is reliable. And then of course, Duracell and Energizer and Raybach all come out with new brands of batteries in October with different power constraints and voltages and amplitudes. And so you got to make sure that your PCB is compatible with that. And then we get everything back from the hot plate welder. And then it's all right, now we got to paint these things, right? And I hadn't really thought about the process of the painting, where I was in my head oh, I'll just do this in the shed in my backyard. And I reached out to my uncle, who's used to own a painting business, standard handyman, very proficient, but he's help me line out a process with it, to account for dry times, to account for the different layers, to account for the different types of application associated with it. And started out in my shed with a spray booth, and then we wrapped my carport in plastic. At this point in time in our production, I'd say it was end of October, and had these big paint racks, which I don't know if you guys seen our Instagram, but there's some video of there back in October of the painting process, and had them all lined out. We'd come out, we'd do the primer, we do the base coat, put them out in the racks, and then we start doing the details of the head, the browns, the blacks, the whites, the yellows, the light green, the dark green, and then hitting it with the purple, and then doing the highlights and stuff. But
wow,
when I was I have a week to do 176 units, I started freaking out, man. It was about the 5th. It was about Thursday of the first week, so the 4th day in production of painting. I realized this wasn't working. I was doing, I think it was 30 units in 40 hours is what my production rate was at. Wow. And then when I had my neighbor's lawn maintenance show up, and they were mowing the lawn and blowing with leaf blowers while I was painting, and the plastic was falling down, and I had dust getting everywhere, and I was having to go back 4 or 5 steps in the painting process. I was yo, this is just not working. I got to tear this all down. I got to finish this, and I got to figure this out. And so that then stemmed me to calling a bunch of mural artists. I was I need a space that I could paint this in, but then also I need skilled labor, who can paint this more rapidly. So I started calling mural artists, and I happened to have stumbled across this guy. I probably called 50 here in the Austin area. Wow. One guy got back. He was what's up, man? You got duck decoys? And I'm yeah, here's my problem. I need help. I am freaking out. I've got another 150 of these things to do. We got to get out by next week. And he was well, I've got a 2,000 square foot warehouse up at the Domain, which is North Austin, if you want to come check it out. And I was yeah, sure, man. That sounds great.
Yeah, that'd be amazing, actually.
You come by tomorrow? And I was yeah, let's do it. And so I go meet him. I bring a one of our unpainted decoys and then a finished product. I'm like, this is what I need every single one to look like. And he like, I walk into the studio, and let me backtrack a little bit. So I walk into his studio, and it's this big old warehouse. He's got grand pianos inside, big murals of artwork, and he's got these giant like spray paint racks. And come to find out, this guy is like a renowned graffiti artist. Like he hosts like events once a month, graffiti competitions where he has like artists flying around the world to come in and like have graffiti battles where they have like DJ rappers. And I'm like,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh,
I didn't either.
It is pretty cool, man. It is really
I'd
cool.
say
awesome.
Like my mom, like she, when I was a kid, I'm stepping back a little bit here real quick.
Yeah, please do.
So my mom, being the art teacher that she is, when I was a kid, my sister, she had an opportunity to go to attend a dance school in New York when she was in high school. And then I was in middle school. And my mom was like, Ainsley, my sister, you're not going to go up there and live by yourself. Like no chance for 3 months during the whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my mom, and my sister lived in New York for a month, or not a month, sorry, a summer when I was in middle school. And my mom, being the art teacher she was, every single art thing with me and my mom while my sister was out at dance school was to go to a different museum every single day. So we go to a museum, and one of which, like, we came across like a graffiti battle. And graffiti was like my favorite art form. Like I thought everything else was stupid. Like there's some cool stuff, but I was like, all right, this graffiti is cool. Like they're all hip hop, break dancing, spray painting. I was like, that's sick. And so whenever I came across this graffiti artist, I saw what he did. I was like, oh my God, this is like the coolest thing ever. Like my mom's going to love this. Like my family's going to be so into this. And so I was like, this is kind of made it happen. Like this is kind of my mode of art form. And he was like, well, let me see what I can do. And, I told you my production rate at the time was 30 units in 40 hours. He takes that one decoy and he paints it in like 20 minutes. And I was just like, God dang. Like, he turns on some rap music on his like 2 JBLs, grabs some spray paint cans. He's just over there just, and I was like,
going to town.
Oh, it was so sick. It was so
that is sick.
You're like, I need you to do that like a bunch more times. Come on.
Yeah. Exactly, man. And so he is like, yeah, man, I can help you out. And I was like, dude, I really appreciate it. Like, it was honestly like an act of God. And figured it out, got stuff over there, started painting. Him and I, through collaboration, and we did 60 units in, I believe it was 48 hours. And then the next 60 that we did in 12 hours. And so it was like really cool learning the production process of how we can make it more efficient and utilizing things such as stencils or different application methods of using like a HVLP sprayer or a spray paint can or paint pens or, what do you actually use with a paintbrush type of deal. And so, yeah, man, the whole process has been very eye-opening and very educational, as well as just like, I've developed a lot more appreciation for the products that I use and their design.
Yeah. It's not just press a button and it pops out.
Oh my gosh, no. No. And that was like, I think the hardest thing that we were facing was like, all right, we want to be a made in America company. And unfortunately we will be. We had a sidetrack because of production constraints and some design modifications. We will be going overseas. But plan is to bring it back. However, in the process of going to be a U.S. made company, like you just got to self-teach, without reaching out overseas or to existing manufacturers. You have to become self-taught in all those skills and all that manufacturing capabilities. And so there's a giant learning curve associated with it, but we figured it out and really excited for new developments and things to come.
I think that's incredible. And one thing I'm sitting here thinking, that little tiny bird will drive a man nuts. And you do all this work to kill a freaking duck, dude. That's crazy. I mean, of course, for you, it's a little more, it's a business you're selling. You're trying to create something new for, the market. But all in all, what it really boils down to is people shooting ducks.
Oh, man.
And it's like, all this for a duck. Like, yeah, all this for a duck. Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
like people are pretty judgmental about duck hunters in the regard of, oh man,
Mhm.
you're waking up at like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. to go hunting, or you're waking up at 1 a.m. to drive 2.5 hours to the boat ramp.
And hopefully you get your spot. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And then
man,
if you
it's
do get your spot, are you going to kill birds? And then you don't get
Yeah.
you don't kill birds.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're crazy.
We've
Like
had
a
a lot of
guy.
those mornings. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah, it's-
have. Oh man, hey, you'll have it on them duck hunts.
And you know what's really weird? Because like Carson, I didn't grow up duck hunting at all. I'm born and raised in East Tennessee.
Okay.
You know, there's a few ducks here and some geese, but like, and I've shot a couple, but you know, there was nobody in this town was going duck hunting.
Yeah.
Right? No one owned waders, like none of that stuff. It just wasn't a thing really. So I had been once or twice in West Tennessee, going with I was on the trap shooting team, and I got some opportunities there. So, and I'd kind of been involved in the outdoor industry, but man, I'm a turkey hunter and a deer hunter.
Oh yeah.
You know, turkey hunting is my absolute jam. But then when I got hooked up with Ben, you know, it was like, oh no, I go duck hunting for real, and I was like, oh okay, here we go. Like, so I kind of just got baptized into it, and you know, dude, like I didn't know the difference between neoprene and breathable. You know, like I don't know nothing, dude, about anything.
Yeah, you were looking
And
at you were like seeing a dove fly through there, about
oh yeah, dude,
there's
absolutely. Ben's like, no, that's a speckled belly, by golly, 2x4 or something, 6.8 liter, and I'm like, oh, what is going on here? You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Pinch your
and
toes.
and I'm like, hey, look, Ben, I thought we was duck hunting. Was that not a duck? He's like, yeah, but that's the difference. See, you know, and I'm like, all right, dude, that thing's 500 yards away, and he just knows from the wing pattern and how it's flying, and I'm like, dude, it quacks. That's all. It's about all I know. That's about all I got. So you know, now
Yeah.
being in it a few years, I'm a little better at it. But
Oh yeah.
the biggest thing I noticed was obviously, you know, you need motion, and I know that seems very basic and elementary, but you
Yeah.
know, it's like you don't know what you don't know. So, um, I'm like, holy! I had just had no idea, dude. I mean, like, you know, whenever you turkey hunt, if I put out decoys, it's like 2 max. You
Yeah.
know, here Ben's got a trailer for decoys. I'm like, oh my god, man, this is nuts. So we'll go out there and put out
Yeah.
just an ungodly amount, and then, but you know, where I'm going with this is seeing that decoy. And again, this is someone who didn't grow up duck hunting, but whenever I see the decoys that's just the butt of a duck splashing,
Yeah.
I'm, you know, I don't know. To me, I'm like, I don't know if a duck can do that physically all day long, just stay upright like that.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
they drown.
Yeah, you know, it kind of don't seem right to me, but I'm sure it works, you know. So to me, I've got to know, because I know you have a story. When did you shoot your first duck over your first decoy?
Oh, dude. That's a great question. Over the first Jahpoo, correct?
Yeah.
So that
Like
was
your decoy.
man. So it was in January.
Yep. See, told you he knew, Ben.
It was January last year. It was late season.
Yeah.
And these decoys were not even hot plate welded. They were some science fair experiment, man. Like
Nice.
3D
Yeah.
printed shells with the silicone weld seam line, and like the silicone weld is just gnarly. I mean, it wasn't even waterproof. Like I was probably going through like they would fail essentially like every use, just because water would get inside, circuit short, something would break, and like I'd have to reassemble it, replace parts. It was just a giant headache. But yeah, this was January of, I think, 2024, North Texas, and we were hunting these. God dang, what are they called? Cattails, and standing back inside of it, we had a group of 8 of us, and hunting on public. Had Sadie with me. It is freezing cold. There's ice out, and we have birds start working, and I'm quacking, I'm working them, and we shoot a bunch of mallards, shoot a bunch of a bunch of divers, some guy wall, some wood. I think it was a wood duck. Yeah, it was a wood duck. Was the first bird I shot over it. But the troubling part for me was it was really cold. We had a good front. It was late season. Weather was right. Had the decoys out. But in the process of capturing the decoy moving, say you're retrieving a bird, and holding my gun, I dropped my gun in the water. And it's like, I'm that guy with the Benelli Super Black Eagle, Sitka timber camo.
There you
Been
go.
there.
It froze up on me. Like I dropped in the water, froze up, and I was ashamed, man. But it was actually very rewarding because it gave me the opportunity to like view the decoy, view how the birds are reacting, work the birds, capture Sadie working amongst it, and like the guys that were all like, I'd say about half of them were first timers, like hadn't hunted before. Like this was like a hunt to put in perspective. It was outside Dallas. One of my buddies bought a wood stove tent, and we went out, put it up, slept in it the night before, walked out the morning before or the morning of, hunt out there, and so it was like a really cool experience.
Nice.
Like watch them their first hunts, like duck hunt, like have that experience, but also seeing the decoy, calling in the birds. Like we call it the flyway deputy. I wanted to call it like the traffic controller, but like on that hunt, to put in perspective, we had a flock of, I don't know, about like a dozen mallards, as far as the eye can see over this lake. And this is a big, like, I would say it's about a 400, 500 acre lake. So it's not like that big, but it's reasonably sized.
Yeah.
But the birds are flying out over this lake, seeing them from a distance. And this is after Justin Martin told me to put the flash on the bottom, and I hadn't really had the chance to hunt with it with the flash on the bottom. And these birds just come in locked up, man. Like I'm sitting there, we're calling on them frozen, dead still in the cattails. And the thing with our setup and our spread was about 2-3 feet after you step out of the cattails, the water level just drops up to like your chest. So you can't really have your decoys too far out because you're not going to be able to retrieve them. So we had our decoys like right next to us, but also we're like up against the bank. Like we were clear as day next to these decoys, but we're all trying to stand still. Ladies are blind. I'm like, stay. And then we're just watching these ducks, just come out across behind us to the side of us. And then they like, we're facing out towards the lake in this like little cove. And the ducks just come right up the gully, like right towards the Jahpoos, cupped up, no problem, complete confidence. And I was like, holy cow, this is sick. This is awesome.
Yeah.
However, I will say that was an experience, but another experience that was like very revolutionizing for me and the decoy was I had customers. So this past season, I was in production the entire time. I was doing order fulfillment, doing customer service, making the decoys, painting the decoys. And I didn't really get to hunt until that back half of January. But I had customers call me like, hey, Carson, these are sick. These are awesome. Like the birds are landing on the decoys every time. And I was like, really? Okay. Like that's good news. Like,
Yeah. That's all right.
that.
Mission accomplished. Yeah.
I'm glad they work. And I'm like, oh man, they're landing on the decoys. Like, okay, interesting. Like one guy even told me that he used a competing product, very similar motion in his spread, put it on one side and then put a Jahpoo on the other. And every time they would go to the Jahpoo, like it was like odd because he would use that other competing product, and he had noticed that like the birds were like less hesitant to come in. Like they'd still decoy, but they'd circle a couple times. But the second you put the Jahpoo out, just complete confidence. These are automatically the decoys, no question, doubt about it. But yeah, he told me they'd land on the Jahpoos, and I was like, okay, interesting. So there was a hunt I did, or about a week, I did a hunt up in Kansas with Native Thunder Outdoors, Cole Smith, and I did a hunt in North Texas, Sulphur Slough. What was it? No, sorry, Sulphur Slough, my buddy Jackson, and then another one out in Arkansas with Bryce Cobb with Turnip Waterfowl. But every single hunt, man, the birds were landing on the decoys. Like the one with Jackson in particular, I was like, all right, this is a content hunt. I'm just going to shoot my camera. And at shooting light, we had a pintail hen. And I kid you not, 10, 15 seconds, she is sitting there hovering a foot over the Jahpoos, trying to figure out where to. I was just
Dang.
like, oh my God.
That's awesome.
Nuts.
Yeah.
And then the hunt in Kansas, we hunted.
Try not to shoot the decoy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
Like, man, I gotta rebuild this rig.
Yeah.
And then the hunt in Kansas with Cole was like a bucket list hunt, man. It was skinny water, headwaters of the Arkansas River. It was cold, man. It was like 2 degrees, 3 degrees. I did a scout the day before, just flooded with mallards. And the property they were on, the river was on the north edge of the property. It was kind of like the property boundary, but then the other side of the property or of the river, they didn't have access to. They didn't know the property owner. So the next morning we go out, we get this turn in the river. We build a blind, set up about 20 minutes right before shooting light happens. We start to see lights coming across from the other side of the property. And we're like, no way. They're coming to the right, same spot we're at. We're like, hey, like we're over here. And like eventually we're like, hey, should we like invite them over? They weren't about it. But we set up, continue to have the hunt. And we shot about, I want to say, we shot thousands of birds. It was beautiful. But we shot like I'd say a 3-man limit that hunt. And their guns didn't go off once. And they set up probably 150 yards downstream from us. And I can tell you one thing that was the difference between our setup and theirs, not only the spot, but we had Jahpoos rolling, man. And Cole might give me hell to this day, but I am a firm believer the Jahpoos made a difference because not only for that instance, but to back it, we went out to that same property the next day. We hunted a little bit further upstream where we saw some birds landing. But that same group came out that same morning as well. And they hunted a little bit closer to the spot that we were at. We didn't see a single bird fly. I mean, it was so goddamn cold. It was probably I think it was like negative 20 degrees. Like it was like leave the dogs at home, cuddle up.
Yeah, that's cold.
Oh yeah, it was brutal, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
No birds were flying; they're all settled down. Like we saw a frozen mallard hen when we were setting up decoys. I don't know what happened to her. We left her, but we were setting up, man, and we're sitting there. It's about like an hour in after shooting light, hadn't seen a thing. And finally, we see a pair of 2 mallard drakes. And my buddy Parker, he hits the call on them. They turn and they come in and they're kind of like hesitant. They're cold, but they go out past the other group's decoys, check them out, and they continue right to ours. And they sit down, sure enough. And that was the only 2 birds we saw the entire day, only 2 birds we shot. And I was like, heck, this is reassuring, man.
Yeah, well, man, you got to have belief in your product.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, it's great to see it myself, and it's like, okay, the product, it works. The customers love it. Like I've got existing customers that have used the decoy from the first batch, which is great to hear. Like the quality is there, especially with like my novice engineering. But it was like, okay, I have to be able to capture this, right? Like the difficulty is not only like having an effective product, but also being able to capture the effectiveness. And so the difficulty of it is being able to capture like a lot of the stuff you see on social media, like on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Like, the guys that are doing the filmography, like I don't think you really get enough credibility for the work they're putting in. And, like,
it's tough, especially waterfowl. Waterfowl's hard.
Oh man, waterfowl's hard to film, but it's very rewarding when you get to put together a beautiful piece that you have worked so hard to film.
Oh yeah. And you have that that shot, right, of the birds cupped up on the decoys.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then nothing's more like diminishing those, like when you do have them cupped up, but then the finishing shot, nobody hits the birds.
yeah.
Man,
yeah, you'll have
that
too. Yep.
And it's like,
no 2 ways about it.
There's such a large balance of like being able to capture the shot and like content you could gather and like kill, like not kill, I shouldn't say killing, but like being able to capture the birds being shot and like that balance of, did you get the shot you're looking for? Because you can't control the birds. You can't tell them to come back. You can't tell them to, oh
Nope.
wait, like reposition here and fly in like
Exactly.
this, or like, oh, we want
take two, here we go.
Yeah,
Everybody.
exactly.
Yeah.
You can't choose your cast. You can't tell them what to do.
No.
It's difficult.
It's tough, man. Filming hunts is tough. And it don't matter what it is, you know. Ducks is really hard just because of how fast and quick, and then of course they can see because obviously the aerial view.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's hard, but you know, I mean, we've done it. It's doable, but
There's
yeah,
it's beauty with
it's tough. Oh yeah,
y'all do a bunch of filmography yourselves, right?
Yeah, we do. Yep, sure do, and we enjoy it. It's been a learning curve, but we sure do have a lot of fun doing it.
I get it. Yeah. We're what kind of, are y'all primarily just targeting like waterfowl, or are y'all doing
No, we do turkeys, ducks, deer, just
hogs,
anything.
Look here, Carson. There was a time that we went to Georgia, and Ben could probably tell it better than I. So Ben, if you want to interject at any point, please do.
Yeah,
we did the South Georgia Slam is what we called it.
Okay.
So in one day, it may have been two. We did 2-man limit of wood ducks, shot a big old hog, and killed a giant buck.
Oh heck yeah!
Sure
so
did. It was pretty special.
I think it was 2. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it was a pretty special experience.
It was awesome.
That's a slam right there, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. My kind of point, whenever someone asks me, you know, well, what is rooted hunt? Because a lot of hunting shows and hunting podcasts, they'll just talk about big deer, or we're just duck hunting, or like, dude, we really are. I'll sit here and talk about anything, dude.
Yeah, anything and everything you got.
Like, hey, man, you know, if you want to deep dive into dove hunting in Texas, let's whatever. I don't care. So, you know,
hit them like mosquitoes with a tennis racket, man. Like the
So, were you born and raised in Austin?
No, man. I was actually born and raised in South Texas. I was born in a town called Victoria. It's, I kind of call it the armpit of Texas. Texas has like so many different geographies, environments. Like
it's ginormous.
Oh my gosh, it's wild. But so there's this triangle that occurs right between Austin, Houston, and San Antonio. But then also you have Corpus Christi, a little bit south, and then you have the coast just east of that, or I guess we can now call it the Gulf of America.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And so Victoria is like right smack dab in the middle of all 4 cities. And like it's an hour to the coast, 2 hours to Corpus, 2 hours to San Antonio, 2 hours to Austin.
Gotcha.
And that was like, it was definitely a great town to grow up in.
Sure.
Like culturally, as well as just like educationally. Like, I mean, I learned a lot. I mean, the environment of hunting was primarily just deer hunting. There was some duck hunters, and they go hunt public in high school down on the coast, but like I didn't know what they were doing. I wasn't really into their crowd.
Sure.
But yeah, man, it was dove, deer, hog, duck.
You know, I'm noticing. So I have a bird mounted in this garage that's from Texas.
Okay.
And it's a Rio Grande turkey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you know, I'm noticing the more I talk to Texas people, because look, hey, look, there's nothing wrong with Texas people, Carson, but y'all are proud to be from Texas.
Oh, amen to that.
You know, y'all are proud. Y'all, if one thing, well, Texas, well, by God, you know, everything bigger than Texas, and now y'all just got, and I love that you love Texas.
Okay,
but every time I talk to someone from Texas, they never mention turkey hunting, and y'all got birds. It seems to be, and maybe Victoria, Texas is different. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
but like it seems to be there's birds everywhere, and everyone's like, man, that's just whatever. It's like it's just another thing in Texas. And like here, I'm like, dude, if I had that many birds here, and little old like by golly, I'd be on.
I mean, that's something that's I've had a very like interesting realization too, or a similar realization this year, because obviously we went to NWTF, like where we met you guys.
Yeah.
I haven't had much experience with turkey hunting my entire life. Like, it was
You need to
always,
come on. We'll take you.
oh, dude, it was bass fishing. It
I love
was
bass fishing.
deer. It was hog hunting, occasional
Yeah.
dove growing up. That was it. And like we'd sit in the deer stand, and the turkey will come out. Like, you know, I'd be with like my best friend's dad. I remember very vividly on like my second deer hunt. He was like, "Oh yeah, these damn turkeys eating all the freaking corn." Like, it's like,
Yeah.
If y'all need a solution, just call me.
Just let us
Okay.
know. We'll come hunt them.
yeah,
We will.
I gotcha, man. My buddy Luke Bledsoe, the Spec Ops, he has a gnarly outfit out in West Texas, and I don't know if y'all know him. Or
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, but he's got some gnarly turkeys going on right now, and he's got all like, what am I trying to say? It's an odd occurrence because in West Texas, or what I deem to be West Texas, it's really Southwest Texas. It's Hondo. It's out southwest of San Antonio.
Okay.
About like 30 minutes from the border. It's desert, dusty, brush, cactus. I mean, you get illegals going out there. You got border patrol all over the place. And Luke has this operation out there, and that's where I started going dove hunting, actually. And it out after San Marcos, of course. And I was like, man, like there are no animals out here. Then a good friend of mine who I got into waterfowl hunting was like, dude, I had some of the best waterfowl hunts, some of the best sandhill crane, goose hunts out there in Hondo. And I was like, dude, get out of town, man. What are you talking about? There's nothing there. Like, it's just farmland. There's just dove. And then Luke, he started up this outfit. And dude, I think it is like the honey hole of bird hunting in Texas.
Nice.
Not only do you have the dove, but also there's a not very well known community out there of waterfowl, and you have turkey, you have, you know, some of the best deer hunting in the state of Texas out there, and it's just like it's an environment that you would not expect, but it is oddly wildly or there's a lot of biodiversity, and there's a lot of what is the proper term, but abundance of wildlife out there. And it's beautiful too, because you're like, dude, where the hell am I? I'm in this dust bowl, like this stuff. But there's a beauty to the sunsets.
Yeah.
You find it. But yeah, definitely I recommend if y'all want to get in turkey, especially here in Texas, like Luke is putting it together.
Nice. That's what we like to hear. We
really
love
cool
that.
environment too. Great lodge. He's killing it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that was great. We love Texas. We sure do.
Amen to that too, man. Texas is the best. Like I know John mentioned it earlier. Like it's so funny.
Dude, y'all love it. I'll give you that.
Oh man, dude. Like I was like kind of want to share about like. So I have
please do.
Deep pride for the state of Texas. Like I'm a patriot.
And you should. By the way, you should.
Yeah, you should love your state.
So put even like more stereotypical. Like I'm also to start Jahpoo, to like get through the R&D stages and to get to patent pending. I transitioned out of finance into oil and gas and was working as a landman. I'm still like kind of doing some landman work, but the oil and gas came to play, and I was like, you know what? I need to get like a Jahpoo license plate. Like I gotta like have some type of like branding on my vehicle while I'm driving around. But I don't want to like be that guy with the giant Jahpoo sticker across the side. When people are like, oh, dude, he just has like some, duck decoy company. He's not even on the market yet. So I was like, all right, let's like get a license plate. And I got the oil and gas Jahpoo license plate. And I was like, heck yeah, we got to roll with it. It's shooting black, looks good. And part of me recently, especially this past season, I was like driving down from, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kansas, Oklahoma, every other weekend. And I'm like thinking in the back of my head, like, God, man, like I need to move closer up here to a better environment for duck hunting, more so environment for, shooting mallards and getting on specs. But I have this like conflict because I'm like, if I move outside the state of Texas, like I'm going to have to renew my license plates at some point. I'm not going to be able to have my oil and gas license plates or
that's right.
anymore.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's those unique things about Texas. And then obviously, could ramble on grocery stores and stuff. But
Hey, Bucky's, right? You know, you got to
Bucky's.
go.
No
You know,
Boosies.
now look, we do have one in all places. Crossville,
Yep.
Tennessee,
Yep.
where I live. Yeah, I actually used to work there. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, where's Crossville? In relation?
So if you have ever driven from Knoxville to Nashville or vice versa, we're right in the middle.
Okay, I got you.
Right off of 40.
Man, that's such a
Yep.
shame, man. Whenever I travel for trade shows, I'm always like, I map it by the Buckies. It's kind of like how
Yeah, man. I get it. I
I
get
get
it,
my
dude.
def, I gotta get my diesel, I gotta use the bathroom, I gotta let the dog out.
You got to get the brisket.
Eat. Well, also, new Bucky's item I highly recommend. If you find yourself in Bucky's, they have a coconut cream pie cup, and it is just
Yeah. I can tell you all about. I worked in the food part, so yeah. We could deep dive. Had some inside Bucky's baseball, if you will, if you want to one day. I won't bore everybody
so
with
you know
that.
the secret menu.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, man, I know all about it. So
top 10 secret menu. We gotta hear it,
dude. Top 10 food items.
Yeah.
From there,
Or let's go top 5. Make it a little bit easier.
Yeah. Let's do. Honestly, the burritos are the chicken burritos good. Texas cheesesteak, which by the way, this is the most Texas thing ever. Okay, whenever y'all call it the Texas cheesesteak, and it's just a crappy version of the Philly, but that's fine. We're moving on, Carson. We're moving on. I'm not gonna stay on that.
I take no offense.
Yeah, but no, I'm joking. So, but anyway, so those two things, you got to go. You got to go with the brisket. I would say I like the chop versus the slice. That's a big argument, I'm sure, over there, but I'm more of a chop guy.
I understand.
Now, I tell you, let's see. So that's 3. 4, I'll go with the banana pudding. I love banana pudding. You can't go wrong with some good banana pudding.
Off the rocker, man.
Now, I'll tell you this sleeper hold here. Number 5 is the jalapeno cheddar summer sausage.
Ooh, okay.
Now, look, I left out jerky. I left out fudge. There's a lot of great things there. But that just goes to show you how much food's there. And of course, you
John's top 5 picks from Bucky's.
Yeah,
be coming to you.
Yeah,
exactly.
John's Boosie picks.
Yeah, you will.
The next
not
5,
leave.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next week we'll be hitting them with the sweets category.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Dude, I could tell you all about it, but so.
Dude, I love it, man. I'm right there with you. I had there's this Bucky's outside of Eagle Lake, which is Eagle Lake is a town in the Katy Prairie, which is also, if you ever want to go early teal hunting, highly recommend if you can, at least once in your life, going out there. It is southwest of Houston, about an hour and a half drive. And if you get out there for early teal, it is lights out, just wads and wads of teal. But there is a Bucky's there in Eagle Lake, and my buddy, he used to have a lease out there, and this was 2 years ago. Classic, wake up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., drive out there, get the Polaris hooked up, and Bucky's was where we'd stop at right before we go out to the blinds or to the leases we were hunting. And dude, there were points. I mean, it was a hippo taco, breakfast thing, and put it at
nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
There's nothing better.
What this is kind of, I know we're getting the topic of food, but
hey, dive in. That's what
one of my favorite, one of my good friends, Audrey Wilk, I don't know if y'all know her or not, but she asked me this and it caught me off guard, but I thought it was a good question. Go to gas station, food before you go out in the morning. You're stopping to go to the blind.
Easy. Little Debbie Star Crunch. And a chocolate
honey
milk.
Honey buns.
Yep. Hell yeah.
And a pack of gummies, some sort of gummies, Starburst gummies, Skittles gummies. Literally, right. I don't care what it could be a classic gummy bear, just some sort of pack of gummies.
Dude, I love it, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's I look back at it and I'm like, dude, at the end of duck season, I kind of have this reflection of, what did I just put my body through?
No, awful. Yeah. Just awful. Your diet's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You don't have a sleep. You're sleep routine. It's gone. Outdoor. Traveling like crazy.
Dude, yeah. Oh, yeah. I literally just live off chocolate milk, dude. That's how I survive in this world.
Oh, man. Dude, there's a point. I remember eating a honey bun followed by beef jerky,
Yep.
and then I
Yes.
think it was a whole bag of sour Skittles. And I was like,
Woo!
oh my God.
That's the
That
duck
sounds
blind
amazing.
special.
Yeah, that is the duck blind mix-up.
Now,
And the
I will
snack
tell
pack.
you this. I will tell you this, Carson. If we get a little fancified one day in life, and we just happen to be in a blind together with some sort of propane heater,
Oh yeah.
Ben will tell you. So my background is cooking. That's my trade.
Oh, I love food, man. That's like my favorite thing to do when I travel is try food.
So we have had some bougie breakfasts in a duck blind.
Oh, I love it. That is sick.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I recently went down the rabbit hole and made the investment of a Blackstone grill.
Yep, they're
And
awesome.
when I saw our boy Daryl with 24/7 Hunt cooking up that mini Blackstone in the duck hole, I was like, "Oh shoot, it's about to be game on!"
You
brother.
gotta get one of those. They're awesome.
Oh yeah.
They are
Nothing
great.
beats like a good breakfast, especially if you're in the blind. Nothing's working.
Yeah, dude. Whenever, especially when it's cold, you got some warm burrito or a sandwich or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gnarly, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So when y'all hunt, are y'all
Sure
mainly
enough.
hunting out there in West Tennessee?
We'll hunt Tennessee, but we'll hunt Arkansas. We'll hunt just about anywhere and everywhere.
Oklahoma, we've had some banger
Yep.
hunts there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Kansas,
Georgia.
Canada.
Georgia. How is Georgia? I've never hunted Georgia. I've always been
Wood
very
ducks.
Wood ducks.
Yeah.
And what's that one that my brother keeps telling you about, Ben?
Oh, the black-bellied whistling tree duck.
Yeah. So my
Oh.
brother Carson is in the Air Force, and he lives in Valdosta, and Ben and I hunted in this town called Ocilla, Georgia, which is like an hour north of.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the ducks that's on Ben's list, or on 42 or 40 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
41.
anyway, 41. Yeah, I was close.
You're close.
Again, I'm a turkey hunter, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you was close enough.
So one thing you got to know about my brother Carson, he's one of the luckiest hunters you'll ever meet in your life. His first turkey he ever gets is a bearded hen.
Wow.
Which is now illegal in this state anyway. But at the time, it was legal. And just his first bearded bird. It's like, okay, that doesn't happen. And then one of his first ducks is that whistling tree duck or whatever. Yeah. And he showed Ben, and he literally texted Ben, is like, hey, I finally got some ducks. And it's just like, for real, dude? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's the duck you
You
get?
rascal.
Yeah. And Jimmy don't know what he just shot, really. He doesn't. He does now, but in the moment, he's like
some standard duck.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, dude. I went out here and just shot this duck, and I think he shot a wood duck or two, whatever.
Oh man, dude.
But yeah, no, it's nothing like hunting Arkansas or something like it's marsh, it's swamps is what that's the word I'm looking for.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
that's kind of how South Texas is, man. It's actually funny you mentioned the black belly whistling duck. That was actually one of the first. That's a bird that I have great admiration for and am very passionate in pursuing. That and cinnamon teal still. But I, in my oil and gas job and starting the company, we happened to acquire a tract of property in South Texas, and I was in charge of managing, like, on this property. There's exotics, there's red stag, there's axis, whitetail, black buck, and it was all high fence. I mean, I think it was like 250 acres. Like, it wasn't big, but by any means, but like they had it and it needed to be managed. It was like all property value, nonsense. They had some tanks on the property, and they're like, Carson, we want you to manage the bird population. I was like, heck yeah, man, you're talking to the right guy.
Not a problem.
Yeah. And it was like right at the end of season, and this was in the season of 2023, had prototype working, and I was like, dude, I gotta like go try the prototype. I got my buddy who's a photographer. We went out there, made fajitas the night before, did some rabbit hunting, and then woke up next morning and put the decoys out in the tank. And that tank had I want to say about like 30, about like three dozen like black belly whistling ducks on it, and it was like so fun to see because they like come in.
Oh, that's awesome!
And like they're the first birds that like landed on a Jahpoo, and I was like,
That's cool. That is cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
they're beautiful. But yeah, I haven't got one yet, and I've been trying. It's just like so difficult because they'll like beeline south all the way down to Mexico whenever it gets cold up here.
Now, one of the things about the whole decoy is, and I guess at the moment, I don't know if you're planning on adding more or not.
Yeah.
You've got the mallard, and then you've got just the black.
Yeah.
Is it is there a thought process there of just having the two? Is it just a matter of waiting to ramp up, or what's kind of the idea there?
Yeah, man. No, so that's a great question. So the mallard, I originally like obviously there's that point in like creating the product, right? Of like, okay, what species do I want to make this?
Right.
Especially being like US made, like it's like, okay, like I've got to really strategically think on what I want to make. And so ended up going with the mallard more so because of like its versatility and has like a larger market presence.
Yeah, exactly.
Much more applicable to different hunting environments across the US essentially. So I was like, let's go mallard. However, started coming into conflict with customers getting back of, hey, I would totally buy your product. I love your product. However, I don't hunt with mallard decoys. Like we don't shoot greenheads where I'm from. And so I had this dilemma of like, okay, crap, like this took me a year and a half and tons of hours and times learning how to paint this mallard decoy. Not only that, we have a ton of money in like the mold and the texture and the plastic parts of the shell. Because everything inside of it's custom, like not a single thing is OTS. Like in order to make it and fit the shell shape, we all had to make it custom. And so I was like, well, I can't really just like, flip a light switch, say, all right, I'm going to make this into, blue wing teal, or, we're going to make it into a pintail. And so I was like, I need some product diversity. And I don't know, are you guys familiar with like the purpose of matte black, like why Rig 'em Right came out with like their black decoys?
No, actually not.
Okay. Yeah. So either was I. It wasn't until we were at Delta this past year and we got our first hot plate welded decoy back from our manufacturer, and we were running it in the tank, and like it was like so relieving because we weren't having to worry about like the silicone coming apart, like it breaking, waterproof issues. But we were running in the tank, and people were like, "Oh, you sell them like that, like black?" And I was like, "Oh no, sir, they're gonna be like mallard. Like don't worry about it. Like they're gonna come painted. They're gonna be looking like this one." Show them like a model of a painted mallard decoy. He's like, "Well, I kind of want the black one." I was like, "What do you want the black one? Like what?" And then like we started getting more and more of those questions, and came to find out Rig 'em Right was coming out with their matte black decoys, and I was like, well, heck, people want them. Like we could very easily do that. So there's a purpose of product diversity associated with it, of having like another species offering for the customer. So if they don't want the greenhead, they could have the option of the matte black to incorporate inside their spread if they're hunting like more brown ducks or divers, or on the coast or something. But through talking with Rig 'em Right, like there's it's old wives' tale. Like all the old heads apparently used to do it back in the day. They paint their decoys black, and like the idea behind it is that it's kind of like a silhouette. Like if you throw your drone up, or you stand, I don't know, like 300 yards away from your decoys, 400 yards away from your decoy, you're going to see the black decoys more than you will a standard painted decoy. They're more visible at a distance. And dude, truthfully, like that morning I was telling you all about, where I was with my buddy Jackson up in North Texas, and that pintail hen was like hovering over the decoys. She was trying to land on the matte blacks. Like it's actually wild how effective they are.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's also like I like them. Like they look great. They're a great addition to have in the spread, a great asset to like break it up a little bit. I don't think anybody should run just straight black decoys. I'm not a believer in that.
Yeah.
I do think it's something that you should. So at the end of the day, like when do you go to your local duck pond or to the lake, or even out like to like flooded rice field where the birds are roosting? Do you just see strictly just one species of waterfowl? You don't. They're always going to be in a corporate. Like obviously you got snows, and that's a different story, and there's different species inside of that. But
yeah,
you go
for
out,
the most part,
they're all going to be intermingled. They're all going to be intermixed, and so like having that kind of mixture. And like, that's kind of my hypothesis too, regardless of if you do hunt with greenhead decoys or not, or you hunt in areas that you shoot mallards, the mallard is just going to be just as effective. Like if you have a spread full of gadwall and teal and widgeon mixed in, and you've got two greenhead Jahpoo decoys running, and if like you think that the bird's going to flare because it gets within 10 yards and notices that its head's green, like you got more of a problem than the bird seeing the green head.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to ask about that, and Ben, you could talk more about this than I can. Motion decoys in general, like if you're just getting out some mojos or whatever,
yeah,
obviously you're not going to put out 3 dozen mojos or whatever. You're going to put out all these decoys. I mean, right or no?
Yeah, no. And the thing is a duck sees a mojo from Canada to Mexico, and a bunch of them. They learn the mojos. And with this, you have what looks like an actual duck feeding. It's the exact replicated motion. Back and forth, back and forth. And
Well, and
that,
that's my point.
yeah. So with that, when they get close and they see that mojo's not really landing, they're like, oh, well, that thing's not even moving. It's just the wings. But this is like an actual simulated feeding duck.
Yeah.
And
So
that is where it's revolutionary.
yes.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's and yeah, Ben definitely kind of hit it there. That and John, to your like the point in the question, and I think Ben was kind of getting at with it is there is no like secret recipe in a waterfowler spread, right? Like there's no like you're gonna have to have 4 mojos,
right,
6
but
Jahpoos,
yeah,
4 pulsators here, a jerk string, a designated puller, and a dozen dive bomb decoys to kill it. Right? It's all based off of your environment, your situation, where you're hunting, what the weather is going to be, all the different variables that come into play. And then now the purpose of like adding motion into your spread is more so in the aspect of taking the edge off and adding like a realism effect to your spread. And that's like what Ben really just pointed out on. Like these other competitors, like as you mentioned, Mojo, or some others, as I did, just like the Pulsator or the Designated Puller, all fantastic products. I know the founders.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Like Terry, along with Christian, like they're all like I've got their phone numbers, all great guys. I don't believe in like China wars or anything like that. Like our product is made to be integrated with other products, and just really the ultimate goal that I believe that we all share in common is putting more decoys in front of the hunter, right? Like I don't think any of us are trying to like capture out each other. It's more so like, hey, like we want the hunters to have a successful hunt. We believe this is to be like assets that you should have in them. Now, like deem like their effectiveness and how they work, like that's all based off the hunter's opinion. But the where was I going with this? The thing that I believe like kind of differentiates our product and like Ben hit the hammer on the nail with is the product itself is it's natural. And like we get a lot of like pushback from customers saying that, hey, it's not moving enough water, or like, hey, it'd be really cool if it could splash water. And I was like, hey, I completely agree with you. Like me being a hunter, like I look at the spread, right? And I want to have like this asset in my spread that's going to be moving a ton of water, just in comparison enough to replace a jerk string, right? However, the thing you got to like conceptualize around and look at is like, what are the real birds doing? And like for me, what I have observed through natural observation is the birds aren't moving that much water. Like I think what makes our product so effective is the subtleness of it, the natural of it. Like don't be wrong, like I've got videos on our pages on YouTube, Instagram. Go look them out. That it moves water, like
right,
it resonates throughout the spread, but it's not that aggressive. What do I call it? That static water motion, or
it's not just waves and waves and waves of water.
Yeah, and like I kind of put it into perspective of this, like when you have a dog, right? Like John, you have a kid. She is what, 5 days old now.
Yep.
Like in terms of raising her, like do you plan to like try to like give her more like organic natural diet versus like something that's very artificial, or
sure
right? Like you want to give her like those natural ingredients. Like that's kind of
Mhm.
how I am with my dog. Like obviously
Yeah.
her kid, but I'm
Yeah.
like, I want her to
It's
be
coming.
Yeah,
organic.
you'll be there one day.
I
Yeah.
know.
Don't you worry about it.
Yeah.
And like whole foods and eating healthy, and like I firmly believe that like a natural diet or just like living naturally is just good for us
Well,
and
yeah.
the earth overall.
And that's why we hunt, really.
100%. Like that's
Yeah, to
why
eat
we
it.
hunt, is to eat organic and eat wild food. I believe that the natural aspect of our decoys motion leads
Yeah.
to its effectiveness inside of a
Yeah.
spread.
Well, and I guess where I was going with that question was, are you putting out, 2 to 3 dozen Jahpoos, or is it just 2 or 3 mixed in with regular? I'll just call them regular standard decoys.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's a great question. So there is, I mean, I've definitely seen some content generated where people have nothing but motion decoys, like they'll have,
Right. It's kind of what I'm going.
yeah, a whole pond
It's
full.
like,
For me, when I hunt, I use about, I use, I feel like the perfect recipe for me, or like ratio, I use 4 for every 2 dozen. 4 or 5, I think, is the perfect match. Like
Mhm.
the way I set up my spread, I do like typically a J or a U, where I'll just like scout, depending if it's like a timber hole, we'll scout them around and have like little groups and such.
Mhm.
But if it's like I like if it's a U, for instance, I'll do like um, 1 in the middle and then 2 on the 2 arms of the U. And if it's a J, I'll have 3 on the curve and then 1 at the end of each side. Because you kind of got to look at it, it's like, all right, where are the birds being funneled into? Where do you want the birds to be landing? And that's kind of how you position your Jahpoos inside of it. There's not really much so a direct
Gotcha.
recipe to follow within it, but there is,
Yeah.
it's an art
Yeah.
form. And I'm
For
still
sure.
learning it too, open to feedback. Like, I mean, I was only able to hunt over them for the last half of January this season, and I tend to focus them in those funnel points and the majority of the motion. But yeah, that's kind of what I've observed. And
Gotcha. Oh,
yeah,
I
No,
love
that's
it.
awesome. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I think it's a great product, and everybody's listening to this. You need to go check them out at Jahpoo. It's
yeah.
well worth it. I'm telling you, they are awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we got some great stuff coming this new season. The product improvement as well. We are doing a lot of R&D, trying to modify stuff out. Main so this first year, focusing on some key factors such as like our paint adhesion. But we'll have rechargeable batteries coming out with it, so runtime is going to increase. Along with,
Nice.
really excited to share like the durability functions of our product and its
Nice.
use that will be there. And then not only that, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, are y'all just gonna like one-off sell this company?" And I'm like, "Dude, no. I'm young. This is my baby. This is my passion."
Yeah.
And we plan to grow this more. And we got a lot of great product ideas that we're working on right now that we're really eager to share with you guys and marketing channels and
Yeah,
I love it.
seeing the way things grow. But yeah, it's
looking
just the
forward
beginning,
to
man.
it. Yeah, that's awesome.
So, Carson, can we tell people about the code yet, or is that still in?
Yeah, most certainly. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all
go
you
ahead.
guys.
Yeah. So, Carson, correct me if I'm wrong here, but if they go to jahpoo.com, select all the cool things to order, and then at checkout they'll put code rooted and get 15% off their order.
That's exactly it. Yeah,
Okay.
just
Awesome.
go to our website, www.jahpoo.com.
That's JAHPOO.
Yeah, and you'll get
Jahpoo.
enter code rooted at checkout, and you'll get 15% off.
There you go.
Awesome. Let's do
Capital.
it.
That's ROOTED.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Now, one quick thing before we get out of here, Carson, and again, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I know we've been jibber jabbing for a while. So we kind of talked about Texas there for a minute. We talked about UT and football. Look, I'm just here to tell you, respectfully, with all the respect in the world, the real UT resides in Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's
I'm
right.
just right here to tell you.
Go Vols, baby.
That's the real orange and white.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I understand. I get it. That's
Yeah.
right. You rightfully so have the belief to believe that.
I just figured
yeah.
once this friendship got started, we just look. You got to set some ground rules. Number 1, what's the top 5 at Buc-ee's? 2, the real UTs. We got to get some stuff figured out here.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
I will
right.
agree to disagree. How about
There
that?
you go. There you
I
go.
love that. Well, look, if they ever play together in football season, we will have to get together for sure and
most
do
certainly.
do something.
You
And
put
it's all
$100
fun
on
banter.
it, I'll be there.
Look, we haven't won since I was born in '98. I get it, but look, man, you got to have fun with it, right? So,
That's right.
You can only believe, man. You got to keep running.
It's
going to happen eventually.
Yeah,
hey, absolutely. Right. Look, hey, there's always next year. I've been saying that for 26 years, so here we go, baby. 26 one's the one.
Always next year. That's right, fellas. That's right. Well, one last time, don't forget to go to the website, jahpoo.com, and enter the code ROOTED at checkout for 15% off of your order. Go buy some cool stuff. The decoys are phenomenal.
I got cool hats, too.
Yeah, hats, stickers, all kind of stuff. You need to go check them out. And with that, the Rednecks out.
See y'all. Thanks, Carson.
Thanks, Carson.